So, Merry Christmas Eve. And I have a friend of Cheryl's and mine who had a complete and total disaster, and she needed, and she let us know, and we went right into prayer. Cheryl, would you come up? I'm going to let Cheryl give you a testimonial, because prayer works. And when you contact me or Cheryl or Sky or any of our practitioners and ministers, we're at work on it right away.
So this is a very good friend of mine, one of my sister friends. And I got a call on Friday that said she's on her way to the hospital for emergency surgery. It's not good. So I immediately called, and she got on the phone, and she was crying. She said, Cheryl, it's cancer. She said, it's everywhere. They told me it's everywhere. I'm going in for emergency surgery. I have a tumor that's growing rapidly. The markers are off the map, saying that this is a really aggressive form of cancer. So I immediately got a hold of our prayer team and a couple of other friends who are very strong prayers, and let it go, because what can we do but just hold that knowing in prayer. She went into prayer and went into surgery, and 2.5 hours later, her husband calls me and he said, so the cervix is benign. The tumor was encapsulated. The tumor is benign. The uterus, completely benign. And she went in for extreme abdominal surgery because of this huge tumor that was growing rapidly. It had wrapped itself around her ovaries. She said the next day, thank you for everything you're doing. Even the surgeon was shocked. I was scheduled for so many procedures this year, including bowel resection and colostomy. And when she called me, she says, I don't want a colostomy. The blood markers were extremely high for ovarian cancer. Everything came back benign. I think this is a miracle. So little pain, when she's having some pain, she says it's nothing compared to the nightmare of yesterday. She says, I don't understand the test results, the markers prior to surgery, and was aggressive enough to schedule an urgent, immediate surgery, and then to have this miracle. She said everyone is incredulous. And this morning her husband called. And you need to know, this is a friend of mine that is a skeptic when it comes to spirituality and religion and any of that. We have some interesting conversations. And her husband called this morning on his way up to see her and said, okay, these words I never thought would pass my wife's lips, but she said something about divine intervention and miracles, and prayer was answered. Thank you, God.
But you can't do it alone. Call somebody. Let's get a prayer going, huh? Yeah. All right. So I want to talk to you today about it's Christmas morning, you know. Did you ever wonder why the Christ was born in a manger? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's because if you're partying in the penthouse, you don't need a God. You got fun, you got friends, you got money, you got stupidity. Those things sort of all go together. But when something like that happens, you need a miracle. And there's a way to remind yourself that that's a possibility for every single one of us. And it's because tomorrow morning, when you wake up, you will be reborn again as the Christ consciousness that you're seeking. It's not an individual, a one-time one person. It's a conscious awareness that I am that too. I may have lived my life figuring out all the things I don't want to do. That's the early part. You're supposed to do that. It's why you do something stupid when you're in your preteen years, like shoplifting a lipstick, make it up as we go here. And get caught at it. And you get caught at it, and your parents make you take it back and apologize and pay for it, right? It's because you got to figure out that when you do those things, you don't feel good about yourself. And so we weed out all the ways that we don't feel good about ourselves. And by the time we get to the age of most of us sitting here, we've weeded pretty well. We're down to the good seeds, and it's time to remember that contained within us is the Christ consciousness, an awakened awareness that says, I don't have an enemy. There is no other in this room. There's only us. We're the only ones here. And that means if you're shooting missiles into Gaza, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You can't keep harming the world and the people in the world and rise above the level of, I can't say pagan. Pagans, it just means rustic. We can't rise above the level of hatred and separation. And according to Ernest Holmes, separation is the only thing we ever need to heal. Our feeling of separation from the infinite intelligence that created us is what makes us feel sick. Or, those people are not my people. Or, I could write crude words on the walls and tell these people how I feel about them. Those are not the sorts of things that raise your level to the level of consciousness of the Christ, who said, my peace I give you, not the peace of the world, my peace. This is not something, a long time ago I had a class, and one of the people here today was in that class. And I said, what is peace if it's not the absence of war? Anybody got an idea? I'll tell you what she said in a minute. What is peace? I'm asking you. What makes peace? Well, this is what Kaylee said. It's being able to speak to everyone with kindness and respect, even when I don't agree with them. That's peace, yes? Take that with you today. Take this out into a world that works for everyone, because there's no one here who's your enemy. My synthesis project for the last 2 years has been to rise in love with everyone. I may need longer than 2 years. I figure it's a lifetime journey. Why not? But what I am having to do, it's a process, I'm still in the ing of it all, is to stop judging everybody. They don't live up to my standard. Well then, I can't love them. They're a them. But that's not who's out there. We're out there. We're a lovely, congenial group of people, and it's easy to love you from here. We get to sing, we get to dance, and it's more important that I love you when you call me on the phone and go, I have to go in for emergency surgery. There's cancer everywhere. And the underlying unsaid phrase is, and I think I'm dying. and I don't think I'm done yet. So I am encouraging all of us to pray on a regular basis, to meditate on a regular basis, and to tell you the truth, I don't always do that. I'd be much better at all of this if I did do that, because when I used to do that, I was better at it. How many of you are able to hold on to your good habits? Yeah. The bad habits I can't get rid of, and the good habits I can't hold on to. There's something wrong here. So we have to figure out the ways to be wandering around in this world that make a difference. And one of the reasons why I moved back to Santa Cruz is because this place feels like someplace different. Like I know that there's multiple places across the planet where there are vortices, where you can feel the difference. You can feel a sacredness there. And Santa Cruz, for me, is one of them. Amen. Thank you. So I came home to all of you. It took me a long time as a California gypsy to find Santa Cruz. And now that I'm back again, it so feels like home. It feels like there aren't very many others out there. And I know one day we walked in and somebody had spray painted something on the sign out front because we share our space with the Jewish community. I love that we have a Torah in our building. I love that we are a sacred space, and it's a safe and sacred space for people to come to, regardless of what your belief systems are, and to recognize, I'm at home. I don't have an enemy in this room. This is my place. These are my people. And I am that. So when I go out, what I have to do is drop my defenses and drop my judgment so that what comes through me is the consciousness of the Christ. The Christ is the one who knows that truth. There's only God. Only God. It amazingly enough looks like human beings and dogs and cats and fleas. No, they're our enemy. Yeah. There are things. If I got to do it, I wouldn't arrange anything like that. So the thing that makes me joyous in this season, and I've spent a lot of years getting over my Christianity, which is ironic, you know. Is that it has a tendency to be there's only one God religion, but it's not yours. If there's only one God, there's only one God. Is that true? So it doesn't matter what name we call it. What we have to do is call it in. Call it in so that it comes from the inside out of us. By any name, speak any of the infinite names of God, and it's present within you. And when you're about to go into some conflict, some family crisis, take a deep breath and speak any one of those names as you breathe out, and step into that place as the presence of a being who has knowledge that you are beyond separation. Beyond separation. There's only us here. What do you think? Could you do it? Practice, that's the whole thing. Practice. And I am very pleased to be available to any of you. Our phone numbers are on the website. If you don't have my phone number in your cell phone, come and ask me for it. I would be happy to have you ask me for a prayer at any time. I'm sure all of our practitioners feel the same. Bear in mind that if you're at the bar at 2 a.m., you might want to jot a note to call me in the morning. Besides, I turn off my phone. So what I'm trying to say here is something remarkable is afoot, and it's us. And you, licensed or not, are practitioners of this kind of thinking. So whether you're a licensed practitioner, whether you're trained in prayer, whether you've gone through ministerial school or not, you can answer anyone's prayer. You know how to say it. You know what to do. You know how to be heartful. Open your mind, your heart, your existence itself, and allow yourself to pour yourself out. Empty yourself out. And come talk to me. We'll talk about kenosis as a way of the Christ. Yes? All right. So, it turns out that this very beautiful, very blessed day, the day before your consciousness is waking up, is the perfect day to go into prayer for that very thing. Are you ready? Put your feet on the floor, because we like to be grounded. And our very mother, the earth, is happy to pour her energy up through us. And as it comes up through the top of us and pours out like a fountain, it meets the infinite that is pouring down into us, filling us up again. So we are the place where heaven and earth meet. We are the lightning rods. We are the blessings on this planet. So I declare for each and every one of us here and now, we change the world one voice at a time. And in a community, one large, happy, joyful group of people at a time. We are so blessed, and we are a blessing in the world. And I know that it's all that's needed to change everything here and now. And so it is.